children, warm welcome to my YouTube channel, Literature Mastery. Hope you all are fine and safe. Today, I thought of to discuss something that will be useful in your exam. So, I thought of to discuss how to write a critical analysis. So, I am Kusala Karunarathne, and now let's see how to write a critical analysis essay correctly. So children, before we begin how to write a critical analysis, I thought of to give you a bit introduction about the paper that will be for your exam. So now here I have taken this past paper. So English Literature past O-level paper of the year 2018. So now in here, in this paper, you can see children, you have got two parts. So to answer as part 1 and then part 2. So today I am not discussing about this part 1 section, but I am going to discuss this part 2. So the reason that I selected first to discuss this part 2 is because now when we see your answers, so you are doing a lot of mistakes in writing these critical analysis essays. So I thought that so it will be helpful if I do this at first, then you can improve and you can write, get practice to write a critical analysis essay correctly. So now in here, in this part 2, so you have, so the questions are given children under the each categories that you are studying. So you will be given a question, so you have to select a question from the category poetry, one question from drama, and you have to select a question from prose and question from fiction. So the questions are given from all these and from all these categories, poetry, drama, prose and fiction. And out of these, you have to select one question from each section, and then in this part 2 section, you have to answer 4, altogether you have to answer 4 questions correctly. So that means you have to write 4 essay type of questions. So now it's a quite big challenge for you to write 4 essay types of questions from the given time. So now you are given only 3 hours for the whole the paper for the part 1 and for part 2 you are given only 3 hours to write. So how can we write this within the 3 hours? So that's what you have to be. You have to be clever. You have to be clever in writing all this paper within the time period given. Right. So now in here children, now for the part 1, you are given 40 marks. So you have to, you are given 40 marks, and for this part 2, you are given 60 marks. So now for each section, so each question, so you are given 15 marks for each essay type of question. So today I am going to teach you how to earn these 15 marks. So 15 marks and how to earn score high marks, how to score full marks for this question. So writing this essay type of questions in part 2. So now let's see how to do it. For the part 2, writing critical analysis essays, you will be given marks for your content, for your organization and for your language. So now let's see what are the mistakes that you do while doing these writing this part 2 in your paper, and how to overcome and how to recorrect these mistakes and go through the paper correctly and write a critical analysis essay correctly. Right. So now the first mistake that you do is that you have no correct time management. So now I told you children, So before that, I want to tell that I'm teaching you all these things, and I'm giving you all these guidelines to follow from the experiences that I have taken from my life. So I'm discussing all these things from the experiences that I have taken taken in my O-level examination, writing the English literature paper, and in writing English literature paper for my A-levels, and then writing English literature papers in my college, and writing answers for English literature papers for my degree. So from all these things, the experience that I have taken in writing an answer, and also today I'm discussing how to write a critical analysis essay by using the marking scheme of 2018 year. Right. So by using all these things, I thought of to give you how to write a critical analysis essay correctly. Okay, so now children, as I told you, so the first mistake that you do while you are writing a critical analysis essay is the time that you will not get a correct time management to write this essay type of question. Now, this is now according to my experience. I thought that now you have given here, I'm giving you some tips to manage your time. So I think this will be useful for you. So now in this paper, I told you that you have given 3 hours to write this paper. So you hold the paper. So now each part 1 and part 2, you have to complete within 3 hours. So now writing, now it is the most, it's the complaint that done by many of the children after the exams, that they didn't have enough time to write the answers. Although they knew, although they were aware about the answer, they missed this chance because they didn't have a proper time management. So you have to have your time management before you sit in your exam, so that you have to have your own practice of writing an answer to the given time period. So first of all, I thought of to teach you how to do this. Now here children, now you are given 3 hours for your paper. So I feel that it is better if you take only 1 hour to write answers for this part 1. So because now in part 1 you have to identify and identify the text and write answers there. So but the part 2 is the most challenging place that you take in your paper, because you have to write essay type of questions. So then children, allocate only 1 hour for your first part in your exam paper, and then you are remaining 2 hours to complete your part 2 section. So now let's see how to do this. So now here children, as you have to write now you have to write 4 essay type of questions. So then you spent 1 hour for your first part of your paper, and now you have got only 2 hours. It means you have got 120 minutes to write these answers. So now children, I feel it's better if you have your own practice to write a critical analysis within 30 minutes. So you can have your practice at home to complete a critical analysis within 30 minutes. So then you can manage your time in writing all these 4 answers. Now then, if you have this practice of 30 minutes, so you are spending only 30 minutes to write answer for essay answer from the poetry. Then again you are spending only 30 minutes to write an answer from the drama and from the prose and for the fiction. So for the selected question, so you are given only 30 minutes to write. So if you have this practice, so within 2 hours, if you are spent 30 minutes for one question, and within 2 hours you will be able to write these 4 answers itself correctly. So that's how to manage your time. So the next mistake done by you when writing this essay type of question is that you are not understanding the given question correctly and you are not writing to the point. So not writing to the point means now in children, in many of these essay types of questions are based on, now they are given a statement. So they are given a statement and they are telling that, so please you have to comment or you have to discuss or you have to agree or you have to disagree for the statement given. So you have to get examples and the points from the text, and then you have to prove whether you are agreeing with this or whether you are disagreeing with this. But this is the mistake done by most of the children in their writing. Now, when you are given a question, so the question is given and you are asked to comment it, or the question is given and you are asked to discuss it. The question is given and you are asked to agree or disagree with the statement given. And in here, what you are doing is you are not understanding the question correctly and you are writing the plot of the text, or you are writing the story. Now this is a mistake done by many of the students. So now when you are asked to write this question, you are writing the plot. Now children, in here you have to write a critical analysis. So remember that you have to analyze the answer. But you are not doing that. What you are doing is that you are explaining if the question is based on a poem. Just think that the question is you are given a question from the poem. So now what you are doing is that you are describing this poem without understanding what the question correctly. So don't do this, because now we all are aware about this plot of the poem. We all are aware about these stories of what's happening from beginning to end. So we all are aware. But now what you have, so here you have to show your talents in giving you points and proof from this text in proving the given statement. So that's what you have to do. But many of the students are writing the story or doing a paraphrasing or writing the story. So that's what you are doing in your exams. So please don't do this. Don't write the story. So children, for your part 2, when you are asked to write a critical analysis essay, so remember, you have to understand the question correctly and then you have to give points and you have to give quotations, the examples from the text, and give your points to prove the statement given. So I told you now when talking about this paper that you are given marks for your organization. So as you are given marks for organization, the other mistake done by you is that you don't have a proper organization in your answer. So now you have to have your organized essay, organized completed answer in order to score the marks given. Right. Now let's see how to write an answer with a correct organization. Now children, when you are writing your critical analysis essay, so you have to have your parts in, each parts in your answer. So first you have to write the introduction. Because now first you have to introduce what you are writing about. So what is the text and all these things. So you have to write first the introduction and then you have to write the paragraph. So there you have to have your body paragraphs and then the conclusion. So then children, you have to have your introduction, body paragraphs and conclusion in your answer. So now let's discuss each parts separately. So now let's take the introduction first. Now in here children, in the introduction, you have to introduce what you are going to write. So now here you have to write the name of the text. So the name of the writer. So now you have to write name of the text correctly, name of the writer correctly. So you will be given marks for this. And also, it is better if you can write about the genre and write about the era a bit. So that also okay. But mainly what you have to introduce is the text and the writer. And then you have to now you have to organize your introduction. So now you have to introduce some from the themes that are described in these texts. So you can introduce themes inside this. And also then you have to write the points that you are planning to agree or disagree the answer. Now let's discuss this organization. How to write this answer from an example from your text. So now I have done this poem to the evening star. So I think if you in my previous videos, so you can go for it. So now I am explaining you how to write an organized answer from the by taking a question from the poem to the evening star. So this was a question in the paper 2018. So that was a question which had was there under the category poetry. Right, now let's see what the question is. So here the question is examine how to the evening star can be considered as a poem which glorifies nature. Examine how to the evening star can be considered as a poem which glorifies nature. Now in here children, so now you have to identify and describe how the poet has glorified the nature, and how the poet has glorified the nature represented through the natural phenomena, and especially taking this star. Right, so now I told you in your introduction, so you have to include name of the text, so name of the writers, so introducing the theme and the points that you are planning to write here. So now here you have to write about these to the evening star and about the writer. So now about the writer, and also you have to tell that particular themes are discussing in this poem as the introducing the themes. And then now you have to write about the how these now the question is this poem can be considered as a poem which glorifies nature. Then children, now you have to include the points that you are going to write in your body paragraph that glorifies nature. So you have to write now in your introduction, in short, you have to give a bit introduction about the points that you are going to describe in your paragraph. So that's how your introduction should be organized. So now if I say again how you have to plan your introduction. So first you have to write the name of the text, the name of the writer, and if you are able, you can include the genre and the eras, and then you have to introduce the themes, because you have to have your flow in your introduction, so flow in your answer. So you can introduce theme, and then you have to write in short the points that you are going to describe in this body paragraph. Right. So now let's move to this body paragraph. Now it is important, students, writing these body paragraphs, because there you should show your talent that how you are analyzing the points to the given question. So I told you that you will be given marks for your content. In the marking scheme, you are given marks. So your content means now you are analyzing this body paragraph, giving correct points and giving examples. Right. Now in here, in the body paragraph, first you have to begin your, now students, now I told you, now in the introduction, you are giving points in short what you are planning to write in your body paragraphs. So, and then in the body paragraph, so now you have to take one point that you are going to describe in each paragraph. So you can take one point and you can describe it in a paragraph. Then you can take the other point and then you can describe it in the paragraph. And likewise, you can describe the point in each paragraph that you are going to write. So now in here, you have to begin your paragraph. If you begin your paragraph with a key sentence, with a strong key sentence, then it will be very much effective. Then the examiners and we all know that what you are going to write in here. Right. Now let's see it also from the example. Now here children, in this poem, to the evening star, the question was, examine how To the Evening Star can be considered as a poem which glorifies nature. Right. So now we discuss about the introduction, and for the paragraphs, now you can tell in here. Now you have to write about how this nature is glorified. Right. So now in the poem, so you have to give the points how nature glorifies in this poem. So now here it is represented through the star. So then you can take the points how this star is appreciated by this poet. Right. So now you can talk about the beauty of the star, the beauty of the star, the imagery of the goddess, and all these things for one point. So for a point, so you can discuss about this beauty of a star and the imagery of a goddess. And then also you can talk about these qualities and the powers of the star. So now in here you can talk about these divine qualities of the star, how it spreads love, blessings and all. And then also you can talk about the other powers as the fertility, protection, and so on. All these things you can discuss. And also you can take the points, how these absence of the star will create negative consequences. So now how these evil forces arise with the disappearing of these star. So you can take this as in the point and you can give right answers for that, give points for that in writing the answer. So now children, so these are some points that you can analyze in the answer, in the question. How when you are going to examine how this nature is glorified. So then now I am talking about these body paragraphs. Now you can take now the first point that I told you was that beauty of star and you can talk about this imagery of goddess. Now the star is considered as a goddess. So by taking this point, you can create your first body paragraph. Now, in starting this first body paragraph, so I told you have to begin this with a strong key sentence. It means if you are talking about the beauty of the star, you have to give a strong key sentence about the beauty. So, if you are talking about this star, the goddess, that how this star is being a goddess, then you have to use your key sentence in telling about this goddess. So then after that you have to have your points from the poem, how this is how the star is beautiful and how it's been a goddess. So what are the examples being a goddess, and then you have to include examples to prove this. Now it's an important fact and you will be given marks for this. So you have to write quotations from the poem. So now when discussing about this body of star and the imagery of the goddess, so beauty of the star and imagery of the goddess, so there you can include the quotations like, so now the poem is beginning, thou fair-haired angel and thy radiant crown. So there are beautiful lines. There were the lines quoted, then you can quote it from the poem and give examples for this point. And then you have to then when you are beginning your second paragraph, so now now the second paragraph we are talking about these qualities and the powers of the star. So then you can write a key sentence about the qualities of this star, or key sentence about the powers of this star. So you have to begin your paragraph from this key sentence. Then we are aware that what you are going to write in this paragraph. Then you have to give your points from the poem, how it is about the qualities of the star, about the powers of the star, the fertility, the protection, how the protection is given. And then you have to give examples, the quotations from the poem. And then if you go to the other paragraph, so there are now, you can talk about this absence of star will create these L forces and how this is happening. So now you can start it also from a key sentence and give examples. And remember, in all these paragraphs, you have to include how the nature is glorified, because it is the question given, and always you have to attach your paragraph to the question. Now, the mistake done by many of the students is now you are not writing to the point and not, as you are not having a correct organization. So you are not always attaching these answers to the question. Remember the question, and you have to always give points to the question. So attach your answers to the question. So that is important. Then now we know that you are what you are explaining and you have understood the question correctly. So that's how you have to build up your body paragraphs. And then you have to have your conclusion, so concluding paragraph. So it's important. So you can say, you have to prove that according to the given points, you can finally conclude that this poem is talking about the how the nature is glorified, and the poem finally you can say how nature is glorified in this poem, and you can conclude the given statement. So now if I tell you again in short how to write these, how to have your correct organization. So now first of all you have to, now the statement is given and you have to prove this statement. So then you have to have your introduction. So include for the introduction the name of the writer, name of the text, name of the writer, and then the themes and what you are going to write, the points that you are writing to prove this statement. And then each paragraph, then you have to begin your body paragraph. So in your body paragraphs, you are proving giving points and proving each points that you are going to discuss. So you have to discuss the points that you mentioned in your introduction. So take your points, so begin your body paragraph with a key sentence, a strong key sentence. So then it is easy and it is effective. Then we know that what you are going to write in this body paragraph. So begin your body paragraph with a key sentence and then analyze the points according to the points that you are writing, according to the thesis that you are writing there, and analyze the points and give examples for it. Likewise, build up your other paragraphs, giving each point and beginning your paragraph from a key sentence. And then you have to have your conclusion. So finally concluding the what you have written, the points that you have written, and you are concluding that the statement given, whether you are agreeing or disagreeing, because you have given the points in there. So that's how you have to organize your answer. So the next important fact that you have to pay your concentration when writing a critical analysis is the language. So many of the students are doing many language errors while they are writing as a type of questions. So now in here, you should not do any spelling mistakes. Now we have seen that many of the students are doing spelling mistakes. So they don't have this correct idea about the correct spelling. So children, please write correct spellings. And also your language, now I told you that you will be given marks for the language. So you have to have rich content, so rich words to write your content. So if you are rich with your vocabulary, so you will be given marks for it also. So learn new words and use these new words in your writing. So because now here the creativity is highlighted in your analyzing. So you have to use new words and powerful and new words. Then you will be given marks. And also we have seen in many of the answers that you are doing grammatical errors. So children, please be aware. So now maybe because now when you are writing an answer, so you lack this attention in your grammar. So please pay your attention on grammar and write correct grammar. So then you will not lose your marks because as you have written correct grammar. And also sometimes students do, when talking about this grammatical errors, so students do SVO errors. So please don't do these SVO errors. So be aware about the sentence that you are writing and use correctly the subject, verb, object. So you use correctly these subject and the verb, and then write a correct sentence. And also sometimes when talking about this vocabulary, sometimes students use this inappropriate vocabulary to give the communication in their meaning. So children, don't do this. Use the appropriate word to give the idea. So those are the things that you have to develop in your language. So if you have a good development in your language, so you can write your critical analysis essay correctly, and then you will be able to score marks with the language that you are writing there. So children, I hope now you understood how to write correctly, how to phrase correctly for part 2 section of your exam paper. So in there it's a big challenge for you because you have to do a lot of things within the given time. So you have to show your talents within the given time period. So children, when considering this critical analysis essay, so you have now, it is the final product of you are learning this English literature. So final output is that you have to show in your examination. So you have to go through this successfully, and then you can earn a high marks for your exam. So children, think once again to the points that I told you. So get them into your mind. So analyze your essay and have your own practice of writing this essay in the given time. So I told you how to manage your time, and have your own practice of answering the essay type of question. So by correcting your language, your content, the organization and all these things, and then you will get a completed correct answer. So pay your attention for all these, and then you will be able to face successfully for the part 2 section of your paper in the oral examination for the English literature. So that's all about how to write this part 2 section, or how to write a critical analysis essay. So now I think this was very useful for you today, because this is the thing that you have to earn marks and go for a best result. So I think this was very useful for you, and also now there are more to discuss in your syllabus. So children, that's all for today. If you feel this video is important, you can share it with your friends. And now let's meet again from a new video by discussing your syllabus further. Thanks for joining me.